Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. I was going to say ring the little girl. I don't know who the little girl is, but don't ring her. She doesn't know you. That'll be weird and creepy. Ring the little bell. That's better. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I want to let you know of my utmost dedication to you, the faithful viewer. Virtually nobody watches these videos, but I'm doing them mainly for me, if I'm being honest, right? So we're in this period of time called Svirta Oma, 49-day period of incredible potential for spiritual growth. It's been a crazy one this year. I mean, Roe v. Wade, that's just exploding, right? Is that the thing that's going to start the Civil War? Could be. Looks like it to me. Anyway, so I could have taken today off, right? If I'd recorded this in advance, I could have taken today off because I basically just got to record this video. So actually, I've got to record today's one and tomorrow's one because tomorrow's Sabbath, right? So I wanted to go out on every day because I want people to be able to utilize it every day. If you're not Jewish, check it out during the Sabbath. That's what I suggest. If you're Jewish, I can't recommend that, but that's, that's just my wacky world review for you. But I could take the day off today, but no, because I want this to be a daily work group. I think it's the best way. Daily? I'm saying every word wrong. I said whaley instead of daily. What type of daily work group is this? We are working from this group, this book. Maybe one day I'll get a word right. I don't know. We're working from... I'm not starting to re-record this video. This is actually the third time I started re-recording this video. It looks like the picture's freezing right now. I don't care. I'm going right through it, right? We're working from this book, the Six Constant Mitzvot. The Six Constant Mitzvot. A mitzvah is a commandment from the Bible. These ones you do constantly, and you do them to supercharge your connection to God, right? If you focus on these and you think about these, they will supercharge your connection to God. I think this is something that's... All peoples of faith can get something out of that. That's indeed my hope and desire, which is why I'm doing this, right? Why I'm doing. But really, as I said at the beginning, I'm mainly doing this for me, right? Because I think this is good for me. So we're at a bit of a plateau right now. We're on day 20, which means we're just about to finish the third week of this period, and each week is like a new milestone in of itself. And as we're finishing that, we're also starting the third of the 6 constant commandments, right? And this one is to believe that God is one. Now, this is a funky one, and if you're Christian, please let me know how this works in to the Trinity, which I've discussed at quite length now with quite a lot of Christians. I'm intrigued to know if this is a fundamental disagreement between Jewish philosophy and Christian philosophy, or if it's something that it's more of a semantic debate, right? Because it was because of the Trinity, specifically the Trinity, that Jews are prohibited mainly from praying inside churches. Because if you define the Trinity as being 3 individual people, which you do in Christianity, but you also define them as being one, right? At the same time, right? So I don't understand the Jewish law prohibiting one from praying in a church because of the Trinity. It seems to me it could well be a misunderstanding of what the Trinity is. Well, I really genuinely don't know. I don't know, but I still really fundamentally believe that all peoples of faith can really agree, on these six commands from the Bible and people of faith in a Judeo-Christian morality. So anyway, God is one, right? We are commanded to understand that God, blessed be He, is the cause for all that exists. I think universally we agree there. The master of all, the one and only, without any partnership whatsoever. And this verse states, as the verse states, "Hear, O Israel, God is God." We have one word for God. We have lots of different words for God. God is one, right? This is in Deuteronomy, verse, chapter 6, verse 4. The verse of the commandment is not merely a declaration for the definition of it's the first line of a prayer called the Shema. The definition of the Shema, this prayer, is therefore, except from me, know and believe that God, who is our God, is one. It is clear from all the sources throughout history that the rabbis frequently say that one should unify God's name, thus accepting upon themselves the yoke of heaven, the declaration of the unity of God and faith in it. Okay, that was the translation of the definition of it from the book called the Book of Teaching, Book of Education. Right? Fine. So here we are. God's oneness. That's what we are. What the part one, one source for everything. And again, I don't think this is in conflict with the Trinity. But please let me know, right? Please let me know. When World War II ended, thousands of Jewish children were in Christian orphanages across Europe. And by the way, there's a tradition in the Jewish world that a lot of these orphanages and these convents that talking kids get a bad rap because they say, oh, look, they were stealing the children. Seems to me they're saving their bloody lives, right? Saving their bloody lives. And yeah, well, so that's a whole cul-de-sac we could go down. So they had thousands of children throughout orphanages in Europe. Nearly all the parents who had placed their children in the care of priests and nuns to protect them from the impending doom. Yeah, that's exactly. They were given to priests and nuns from impending dooms had not survived the war, and no one remained to claim the orphans. Many of the children were so young at the outset that they had few memories of family or Judaism. So Rabbi Eliezer Silver, president of the Union of Orthodox Rabbis of United States and Canada, traveled to Europe to try and find such children and bring them back to Judaism. Like a lot of the times, these orphanages, these priests, these nuns, didn't want to send the kids back to being Jewish. Didn't really work out well for them the first time. So I find it hard to condemn somebody doing this, right? Because I think they are really genuinely working in the best interest of the children. I try to look at things positively. That's. I think it's a good way to go through life. At least I like to try and look at people positively. So what he would do, this is incredible, right? He would go when he went into an orphanage to find the Jewish children. He would say out this seminal prayer that is the day before you have the circumcision. That's like 8 days old. Kids come round to say this prayer with the baby, and right, it's one of the central parts of Judaism that you're taught right from the beginning. So he will stand up, right? He will scream out this prayer, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, which is the prayer, and the last part of the prayer is Hashem Echad, God is one, right? And then almost every time he would say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, he would hear kids say Hashem Echad, that God is one, right? So that is the centrality of this. The source of the oneness of God, the third of the 6 constant commandments, is in. Did I skip a page? I don't know why they put that story in. Okay, fine, but I think it shows you the centrality of it within Jewish tradition, Jewish society, religious society. So Rambam, Rabbi Moses ben Maimon, from the 15th, 16th century, writes that humans are superior to creatures in only one, to animals in only one respect. Really? Well, that's not a good introduction. They are able to attain wisdom necessary to understand the oneness of God. Really? I know that's the only thing we have difference. Listen, Rambam's a pretty smart guy. Okay, I would say I wouldn't poo-poo what he has to say. The greatest achievement of human intelligence is to ascertain clarity of the oneness of God. Clearly, then, we are about to embark on a study of a fundamental part of the Bible. The first and most obvious question that comes to mind is why oneness of God is classified as a constant commandment, right? Why is it one of these constant commandments? The prayer, Shema Yisrael, is indeed like a pledge of allegiance of the Jewish people to God, and we have to aspire to these and we have to aspire to these words on our lips as we die. Yeah, the last thing a Jew says as they die, so they're able to do it, is they say this prayer, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, right? That God is one. So what last thing they say? And normally, somebody is too sick to do to say that when they die. People say it for them. It's like last rites, right? It's similar to last rites. But we are commanded to recite separate chapters of the Shema to declare God's oneness twice a day. Why then do we classify it as a constant mitzvah? We got to do it a couple of times a day. Why is this constant, right? Furthermore, in the commandment of faith, we establish that God exists and created the world for one purpose, and in the second of the commandment of not having other gods before God, we added no other thoughts, even one subservient to him, could contain any independent power. Why are we adding that God is one? The oneness of God at the same time. It seems to me we've covered this, haven't we? Really? But then again, you got to think that God's a pretty smart guy. He puts it down in his Bible. He wasn't just trying to fill out pages. He's not being paid per word. In order to find the answer to these questions, and appreciate the depth of this commandment, we must first define the statement that was it Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, that the Hashem, that's the... Okay, now we've got to get in deep lore. Hashem is the loving aspect of God. Elokeinu is the judgments aspect of God. And Hashem Echad, they're saying the loving aspect of God is one, right? It basically was saying that if bad things happen, it's still coming from that loving God, right? That's the oneness of God. There are 4 points that we can derive from this verse. That Hashem is our God. That name of God is our God. Hashem Echad. Each of the four is valid, but only one of them explains explains why the oneness of God is a constant mitzvah. So let's see what these four things are and see what he says. The first one is there is one God, and one and not what? 2, 3, 50. So, while certainly valid, such a definition would limit the commandment of the oneness of God to being the positive form of don't have any other gods before me. So it seems to be the other side of the same coin. In addition, polytheism does not seem to be an issue that plagues people. To the extent that the Bible must command us to recite twice daily, that our soul and as our souls depart from the world, and the first thing we like this. Why is it such a fundamental thing, right? Furthermore, it seems absurd that the crowning glory of human intelligence is the ability to see beyond the folly of multiple deities. There must be some aspect to this commandment which is more challenging. Pray tell. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, God is one, i.e. not composed of different parts. So this must be the where the problem comes with the Trinity in terms of Jewish law. But again, from people I've spoken to, they say God is one. They keep saying it's one. So I don't think it's something that's supposed to be able to be understood by a human mind, the mind caught within the finite universe. So Rabbi Maimon Moses says, the Rambam writes that each and every person must understand that God is qualitatively different from everything else that we know. When we describe him as big, strong, and powerful and holy, we ascribe to him qualities that we are unable to grasp, but that don't do justice to him. Yeah, it's like, really, that seems like kind of a small description of God. God is not gigantic, being composed of different parts, but an infinite being that we cannot comprehend. We have a finite mind. Our minds live in finite space, and we can't go beyond that. The proof we can't go beyond that: imagine infinity. You can't do it. And if you think you can, your brain immediately puts a boundary, a definition on it, right? And you go, what's beyond that? Your brain cannot conceive of it. This is a valid aspect of the commandment of the oneness of God, and since the Rambam includes it in the definition of the commandment, we're required to grasp the deep philosophical difference between finite beings and infinite one in order to fulfill this commandment properly. It is doubtful, however, that we will be required to walk around constantly pondering the difference between finite and the infinite. Well, if you do that, then you come to the conclusion that the finite doesn't make sense, where the infinite does. Don't go there. Don't go there. You'll be stuck for days. Okay, trust me on this one. There is no other infinite being. Well, this to me sounds silly because infinite means there can only be one, right? Infinite means that there is only one, right? There is nothing other. Like, people won't think of infinity. They think it's like far out there, man. Oh, infinity is way out there. No, infinity is right here at the end of your nose, as it is everywhere else. There is nothing that's not part of the infinite. Because that's what being infinite is. You don't have any finiteness, if that's a word. There is no other being. Since God is infinite, no other being can be like him. That's true. And more than that, we're not even separate from God, right? We are all part of God. This too is a deep philosophical point that's important to understand, but can hardly be the primary focus of this constant commandment. The fourth thing we learn that is God is all that exists, right? I think this might be. He said there's four things, and we're gonna. One of them is the four, so probably he's poo-pooed the other three. I'm gonna say this is the one. This is a difficult point to describe in philosophical terms. If God is truly all that exists, and then what are the houses, cars, tables, and flowers, and furthermore, everything else? What are we? Are we figments of imagination? Don't we exist? In actuality, what it means is we are all that all finite existence is a manifestation of God's will. Everything that we interact with or contend with, whether tangible or conceptual, must come from God. This part of the oneness of God may sound like may sound as technical as the others, but when dealt with all the philosophical realm, it may be and when dealt with in the philosophical realm, it may be, but in a practical day-to-day application, the level at which it can be classified as a constant mitzvah can be easily understood, but extremely difficult to implement. Okay, so basically what they're saying is like, how can God be one and we exist? How can his pen be here and God and there be nothing else other than God? I can see the pen. It's right freaking there. Okay, so the answer is kind of like a holodeck. If you've got your Star Trek technical manual, can you see it? Where is it? Oh, 1 second. I can't. I'm trying to point. Oh, there. No, over here. Use this finger. Point to it. It's right there. Okay, I'm touching it with my finger there. Okay, there you go. Star Trek technical manual. That is your source. Okay. How does the holodeck work? The holodeck is a finite space, and it's as you walk in it, it changes the scenery around you. But here's the thing: everything is a manifestation of the holodeck, right? If you want a pen on the holodeck makes a holodeck pen, right? If a holodeck wants a person for you to interact with, it makes kind of like a holodeck version and moves things around with force fields. Which I thought was a bit weird, but okay, that's essentially the explanation of holodeck. There's nothing in the holodeck that isn't the holodeck, right? That's what God is. That is what the oneness of God is. Thankfully, good old Star Trek came and helped us out again with a explanation of this somewhat murky commandment, which we're going to be talking about for another week. So join me tomorrow as we delve deeper into the oneness of God. What does that mean, the oneness of God? Well, for you, it's joining me tomorrow. As I hit the stop button, I'm just going to record it straight away. I'm letting you behind the curtain. These are the things that happen. Because I said, I'm not. I don't do anything on Sabbath, right? I don't record anything on Sabbath, so I am recording that one in advance. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.
Yeah.